All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're sitting here with TBritt, the main artist and co-owner of Borsetta Stivali Records. So we want to get into like how Borsetta Stivali Records came about and describe to us how you are like the first rapper to really promote a handbag brand and also a record label at the same time. How did that happen?
The entire idea of the business was extremely impromptu. My mom initially started out with doing a handbag business, and there was no music involved with it whatsoever. It was just she just wanted to make her own business. And then a friend came along and started doing music, and we decided to why not mix and mesh both the music and the bags together at the same time. And that's how it came about. And I was essentially just along for the ride. I didn't even know how it was going to turn into all of this, but that's how it started originally.
So it became bigger than you expected.
Yeah, I didn't even think it was going to turn into this or how it is now.
So explain, you just don't jump into music. So explain, did you already have musical talent? Did you already want to do music? Or how did you just like, all right, we do music, let's go?
So I've always done music since like elementary school, just freestyle rapping and doing goofy stuff like that. But I never took it seriously. And it wasn't until like, and I would always have raps and stuff saved in my phone or in the back of my head that I would do. But I was never really into rap because I always thought it was, cliche or it was stereotypical. So I never really went for it. But seeing how the opportunity presents itself now and how it can really spread to how it's spreading now, it would be a very, how can I put it? If you have this talent and you're very good at it, it'd be a waste to go through life not knowing that you didn't maximize it. So I was like, may as well just fully go through with it and see what happens with it.
So your first album you did was Gangsta Rap Afro Fusion.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So word on the street is you really don't really care for Afro beats.
No,
is that true?
No, that's very true. I do not like Afro beats. I don't like the name of that. It's not a gangster bone in my body, man. I'm making straight A's and B's. They don't gangster in me. So I do not like, if it was my choice, if there was just me making the name of the album, it would not be Gangsta Rap Afro Fusion. It'd be no Afro, it'd be no gangster. It'd be something, I don't know what it'd be, but it wouldn't be that. But it was a good humble beginning in a sense to mesh it together. But nah, that's not. No.
So how do you think the album turned out?
For what it was, yeah, it was good. Yeah, like that was a good album. Combining Afro beats with gangster rap, and and you have the mix of solo songs that are gangster, solo songs that are Afro, and then you put them together, and sometimes all in one. That was a good album, all in all. Shit.
All right, so you say you're not really gangster rap. So explain your upbringing. Where are you from, and how because you're rapping and you're saying somewhat gangster stuff, a little bit grimy things, and slick remarks and stuff. But explain your background.
Well, if you go through my songs, unless I explicitly state that it's a poem or like it's not me, it's just a vivid imagery, you can clearly see that. And when you go through my songs, there's none talking about some rob a nigga, shoot a nigga, kill a nigga. None of that going on in there. It's just me just rapping from what I have lived in my past experience from like my teenage. I'm old now. I'm 28, about to be 28. So it's just my past stuff when I was my younger days, just reliving those or re-expressing those experiences.
So where are you from?
I'm from Leeds. Leeds, Alabama is where I'm from. For people who don't know, wherever Charles Barkley is at, that's where I'm at. That's the only thing we known for is Charles Barkley. Outside of Charles Barkley is a shanty, rusty, crusty, dusty town.
Gills.
Yeah. But
a little restaurant. Dairy Queen.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so you say you're from Leeds, Alabama, but you also say you're from Moody and Birmingham.
Yes.
So explain how you from Leeds, Moody, and Birmingham.
So the reason why I'm from Birmingham is because on multiple occasions we have been broke on many times. And even though I'm not from the hood, yes, I have lived in the hood on many occasions. So I know what that is like. I just did not engage or partake in the street stuff. But no, I know. I've been there. Trust me, it ain't nothing to brag about. And as far as Moody, it's just on my senior year, on like the halfway mark of it, I got dropped out of Leeds, or they kicked me out because of I'm not living in the same area, even though the area is like 5 minutes away, which forced me to have to graduate my remaining four months of school.
So you wasn't living in the area because moved, or we moved. Living in Moody?
We was living in Moody, and we were
attending Leeds.
Yeah, attending Leeds, and I had no choice but to go to Moody High School and graduate there.
Because you was out of zone.
Yeah, even though the zone is like literally walking distance. But yeah, that's how that went.
It's a family business, basically, is what you're trying to say. So who's all in the family? Is the family participating in the music or what's going on?
Somewhat, when the little bits and pieces, whether it's somebody trying to set up the music videos, or if you see somebody in a music video writing the songs, like me writing the songs, or you see my brother in the cameo appearances in music videos, or or the bag placement is my mom. Yeah, that's how that goes. Yeah, so everybody chips in.
Basically, Borsetta Stivali is your mom.
Yeah.
Pharaoh is your brother.
Yeah.
Riqqi is a family friend.
Yeah.
TBritt is you, right?
Yeah.
So, most rappers have like a street name or a street or some type of rapper name. You could have went by Big Brit or, family call you the professor from what I hear, right?
No, they don't, but...
But
there
was
somebody who did call me professor when I was a little kid. That's true. That is true. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so when you started saying, "Hey, I'm gonna do rap," you'd be the only rapper that's using your government name. Why did you decide to go with TBritt? That's full government.
Well, number one, because my face card good. I ain't running from the feds. Number two is because the impromptu-ness of that, if that's a word, of the album was so abrupt, and I had to get my stuff registered for people to know who I was. I was like, just use TBritt. And my friends called me TBritt in high school, so it's like a nickname, but the nickname ain't really a nickname. It's just an abbreviation. So that's how it was.
Okay, tell us about how the family kind of end up in Dubai. When did y'all come to Dubai and say, hey, this is where we're going to land and do business?
So we came to Dubai my mom has been here earlier. She would travel back and forth to Dubai, but we didn't officially get here until 2020, January 2020, right before COVID had kicked in. And I did not have initial plans of staying here. I was going to use it as a pit stop, and I was going to go to Japan, and I was going to live in Japan. But, COVID kicked in, and all, life just started, as people say, life started lifing, and it turned into this opportunity. But we've been here 5 years so far in total.
You mentioned Japan. What's your love of Japan and the culture?
I grew up, of course, watching, since, everybody's upbringing is Dragon Ball Z, going and watching that. And then, I started learning how to speak and read Japanese. And so I was studying to be Japanese translator, which was my prior occupation before I started to rap. I was a Japanese translator, and my whole goal was to basically start to get my PhD and become a professor and teach in Japan. That was the whole process, but now I'm doing this, but yeah.
Well, you can always do that. The PhD in school never goes anywhere, but your dreams, you always got to follow your dreams first.
True.
So as far as Japanese, give us something and speak to us, and you're a fluent Japanese speaker, right?
Yeah.
So say something like, TBritt is coming for you hit after hit after hit. Like, give us a rap slogan and say that you on your way. You about to be put on the map.
Well,
in Japanese, if you can.
Well, I'm not. Well, you have to pay me for that. I got to get paid up front. But Nihongo de shabette mo ore no ittoru koto zenzen wakanne daro. Dakara imi ga ne. But there you go.
Everybody go stream your music on Apple and Spotify in Japanese.
皆さんよかったらぜひ俺の音楽で Spotify と Apple Music でプレイしてください。ありがとうございます。Yeah, but there you go. That's how you get for free. But,
whatever. Yeah. If we can only say if it's correct or not. We have to wait till the viewers see it.
They don't know what I said. Niggas gonna believe me.
Okay, so another thing about it is you guys are selling purses, doing music. Your mom write, your brother, everybody writes for themselves, right? Anybody got ghostwriters?
No. Everybody writes their own songs.
Okay. Yeah. With that being said, explain the logo, because the logo is what I get from people is kind of aggressive for a handbag brand. It's not like a B and an S. So could you explain where the logo come from?
There was no participation for me in creating the logo. It was just my mom had that idea. But from her, she says that it is basically all of our zodiac signs put together in one. So the horns is the Capricorn, I believe. The lion is the Leo. And I guess, I forgot what she said. I think she said the way that the horns are placed, that they're balanced. That's how, so I guess Libras, I'm not a zodiac person. I don't know nothing about them signs. But apparently the Libras like the scales or something. So that's how the horns are supposed to be stood up like scales. But yeah, she combined those three zodiac signs put together. And apparently it's this story about a lion that lived amongst goats and didn't realize it was a lion. And, once it found out what it was, it became a lion. But the goat horns represent where it used to come from or its past. But yeah.
It's a lovely logo. Everybody likes it. So good luck to you in the future with everything you're music and everything. So as far as we went over the concept of the business and how do you like Dubai? As far as an American coming from Alabama, like middle Alabama, people consider Alabama as country.
Yeah.
So what's the culture shock between Alabama and Dubai for you?
Well, the main difference, if you're from the South, is the food difference. Dubai has great food, but the South and the delicacies that they have can never be replaced no matter where you go.
What do you miss the most? Milo sweet tea?
Milo sweet tea. I miss that so much, man. I miss some Captain D's. I want some Captain D's right now. But you can't replace that. But Dubai is much safer. It's a very nice place to live in. But I can't say I miss this Alabama, but it's just the other food is what I really miss.
So what is it that you want your fans to know about you? So why should they listen to you? You're not doing gangsta rap. You're not pushing drug music. You ain't pushing really violence or anything like that. So what are you about? So what will make people want to listen to you?
So the main thing that you can take away from me is you don't have to put up an image to make music. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And it's just the main way to showcase that you shouldn't be afraid to basically speak your experiences. You don't have to become a false image or a false character to be a rapper. And I know that's what, everybody sees it and we act like it's normal or it's okay, but you don't got to be no fraudster to be in the industry or to make music. You can just be yourself.
You think it's going to be harder for you to break into the music industry without a gimmick?
Yeah, that's for everybody, but there's no gimmick that lasts. Everybody has a gimmick is gone by now. A gimmick is only, it lasts a year max, and then they go onto the wayside and they gone. So I don't want to be a gimmick. So
as far as in the industry, who's popular right now? Who would you like to work with?
I can't even think of anybody. I don't like. I know it's not good to say, but I don't listen to nobody's music, man. All I focus on is mine. I don't think it's really good to listen to other people's music like that because you'll begin to take their influence and they might think that you jocking their style or biting their stuff. So I don't really listen to nobody like that outside of what I listened to growing up in high school,
So what did you grow up listening to?
Young Dolph, Project Pat, Juicy J, Waka Flocka, Big Crit, Rick Ross, Double MG. That was the main source of music that I listened to. So, that's where I came from.
So most of your music pulls from those genres and those backgrounds, kind of inspiration.
Yeah. As inspiration.
You haven't been rapping long. Do you see yourself? What's the goal? Like, are you trying to do this for... What's the next move?
I would like to get to a point where people can recognize my penmanship and I can begin to write for people because that's the ultimate goal. But I understand that writers don't get paid very well on the back end. So the reason why I go so hard my lyricism is to showcase that when I write a song for you, it's going to be a guaranteed hit. Therefore, pay my money up front. I want my money. But yeah, that's really what I see myself doing, being more behind the scenes instead of more so being hands-on because I like to stick behind the shadows. I like to stick to the shadows. I'm not really a upfront, out there type of person. I like to stick to myself. So if I was able to become a writer and just do it from behind the scenes, that'd be a lot more beneficial for my sake.
All right. So what's next? What's coming out next for you? What can we look forward to?
Okay, so I'm eventually gonna start in the next couple of months doing my first shows and concerts, hopefully, and I got a lot more music in store. We just recently got, The Ascension just dropped. I got Spice Man, Bow Down. Those are the main two songs that are gonna be pushed. Look forward to those music videos dropping very soon. But I got a lot in store. Like, it's gonna be back to back to back to back to back. Like I can't even express it. I have to just show it.
I guess we kind of touched on, all the major topics. What do you want to go back and discuss your family upbringing? What's dad, mom, brother?
Yeah, grew up in a 2-parent household. They were married. Technically, according by the law, I was a out of wedlock child, but they got married when I was like 3 months old. So, take it with it. Technically, I'm out of wedlock, but they were married for 12 years. But it was the same thing. I got the same backgrounds as every black family. We got drunks, we got some domestic violence, we got some foolishness, some dysfunction. But we just laugh it all away because of all the good times that come along with it. But yeah, it's the same thing as everybody else. There's nothing special about my upbringing.
All right. So have you had any trials and tribulations? You speak as if everything's been peaches and cream without just money issues every now and again.
Well, I've gone through adversity numerous times, but fortunately, I was blessed to not be traumatized. Unfortunately, in the English dictionary, trauma and adversity are oftentimes looked at as synonyms by their definitions. But when you take those words and you apply them in real life and by action, they're very disparate from each other. So, when you go through adversity, the worst case scenario is that you fail. And in that case, you can always just try again. And the best case scenario is that you succeed. And when you succeed, oftentimes that one win or that one taste of success, it outweighs all of the losses that you had to take along the way. When you go through trauma, the worst case scenario is you're impaired or you're mentally fragmented for life. And the best case scenario is you survive. So, I know that people love to have somebody have a trauma story, but no, I'm very fortunate to not have been traumatized growing up. But no, I went through adversity many times growing up. Just as a black man growing up, as a young black child, I've gone through all the same things as everybody else has gone through for the most part.
What are those things?
It could be, trying to understand your identity, going through the school system, aka the food system, trying to deal with this dilemma of, people kind of tell you what they expect you, what you're supposed to be, whether that's a rapper or an athlete or you dead. There's no real expectation of a black man other than to perform or to entertain. And you're only looked at for your physical prowess, and no one really respects you for your intellect. And so I think it's more so trying to go through that struggle of, do you just fall behind the crowd, or do you decide to stand out and be yourself at the expense of being ostracized or ridiculed and made fun of? And I decided to go down the narrow path. And I've
So you didn't hide your intellect?
No, and I don't regret it to this day. Yeah.
As far as you say your upbringing was okay, a little bit trauma. So what was household trauma? Like what was the household like? Did you get whoopings?
Yes.
Did y'all receive toys?
Yes.
Like explain those times.
Just to put it simply, I had a good mom, but I didn't have a good dad. He was there, but he wasn't there. That's best to put it that way. And I remember the times where, when you're a little kid, you know what's going on, but it's like, we in this house, in this apartment. Why all of a sudden we in a hotel? What's going on? Why we went from having home cooked meals to a McDonald's bag every day. Like, what's happening? You don't know what's going on when you're a kid. You just go along for the ride, but and then, seeing your parents argue a lot. As a child, you don't realize it, but that can also take its toll on your sibling relationships as well. So, that was also a thing that I had to deal with. Yeah, and then, if you have a figure, fortunately for me, I'm smart enough to learn by what someone tells me what to do, and I can also learn by bad examples by not doing them. But when you see that growing up as a child, that can be a very negative experience to see someone only do the bad things, only do the wrong things, and you don't know what the right way is. You only know not to do that, but you don't know what the right answer is. But that was probably one of the hardest things, going through that, The only thing that I can give credit to my dad teaching me is to not go through a woman's purse, and he taught me how to play chess. But the irony in the fact that he taught me how to play chess is I never, not once to this day, played a chess match against him. But he taught me how to play chess. But, that's funny. But, yeah, that's probably the main thing.
Like I know a little bit about your background. It's a running joke, and I don't know if I should mention it, but what does your mom, or the joke about your mom, call your dad? Like Peter Griffin?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So... I tell a funny stuff about my dad. My dad is like, Ed, Edd and Eddy, or Peter Griffin. You know how in the cartoon the character got the same outfit, all the time. My dad's go-to outfit was a big long black t-shirt and some blue sweatpants, man, and some slides. It don't matter if it was, to play basketball, if it matters to go to the gym, it don't matter if it's to go to a party. If you see some slides, if you see some blue sweatpants and you see a long black t-shirt, that's my dad. But no, that's, he was like Peter Griffin. He stayed in that one outfit.
Explain your mom.
Growing up, if you had to describe her, she would be described as an angry black woman. That was the best definition to describe her growing up. And I didn't understand as a kid why she was so angry or where all that pent-up aggression came from. But as I got older and we started to have conversations, I understood where that came from and what she was dealing with, what she was going through. But no, I have a really good mom. And she's like the main benefactor that I have to this day in my life. So no, I'm very grateful to have her in my life. But yeah, that's basically to summarize it in real quick. Yeah, angry black woman for sure.
Okay, so is the angry black woman gone, or where's?
No, it's still there. It's just she put a seal on it. She just know when to bring it out, when not to. But no, it's still there. It ain't going nowhere.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you said because the family household had arguments and stuff, and you had a issue with the siblings. So you and your brother, y'all, how is that relationship?
It's good, but we have definitely had ups and downs throughout life. But that's that's not uncommon, I guess. But no, we've had ups and downs.
As far as family business, what do you see the business in the future? What do you hope to gain with the handbags, with the music, any partnerships or any record companies or record deals, people you want to kind of partner with?
I see the industry, the music industry is very, very, just from the outside looking in, you can see how grimy it is. So, I don't want to dabble too deep into it. And by that, I mean, as far as getting signed to a label or being a part of a group like that, I'm really cool on that. But if it was a distribution deal, something like that, I'm down for that. As far as seeing, how the business will go, along the years, I would like to see it prosper into something that is not only local, but is global at some point, maybe 10, 15 years from now. And it's very powerful, and it'd be a great representation of what you can do when you put your mind to something.
All right, so we'll go back and kind of touch on the logo. So most people will say that the horns look like a ram horns, which is the Aries.
Yeah.
But your brother,
it's a Capricorn, yeah.
Capricorn. Can you explain why you got ram horns for the Capricorn?
Yeah. So the horns is supposed to be shaped like the balance of the Libra, even though it's a Capricorn. So you take the horns and you shape it like the Libra's little balance, little scales. But yeah, that's what that is. No, it's not.
Even though the goat goes back.
It goes back. It goes back. But yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah. Okay. So we had to kind of explain the logo for everyone. And then also you can go back into the logo and touch on where you said the lion was raised by goats. Yeah. So what do you mean? Like, did you feel out of place, or did your mom feel out of place, or how did that come about?
So the story resonates with her a lot more because she felt as though she was out of place, like she was a lion among goats, like just from her family or the city that she was born in, or the ideas that she had, no one could relate to it or understand it. And so that's when, and once you go outside of a small town and you get into the world, you can see that there are more people who are like-minded like you. And you can see, that just because you start there doesn't mean you have to end or finish there. And that was more so relating to her than it was to me.
All right. So some people would say, like, you kind of, when they see you at the point you're in now, they will say you like a silver spoon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I wish I was.
Right?
Yeah.
So do you feel like your success happened overnight, or it has been a struggle, or have you been climbing the ladder like everyone else? Because once somebody sees you on TV or doing a video, it kind of like you just flipped the switch.
Yeah, but no, I think it's just more so a representation of the talent and skill that I have with this craft and how much I work with it. But no, it was not silver spoon or silver fed. A lot goes behind the scenes. This is not easy. No, like I understand how it looked like that, but I'm not here to try to appease people's egos. If you think that, then think that. But no, that's not the case.
We got the album EP coming out, The Ascension. It actually dropped August 30th. You got other music already out. The Gangsta Rap Afro Fusion was released in November 2023. So what do you think your next big project will be after this?
It'll probably be maybe next year. I have to, I haven't really worked on a project per se. I just have a collection of a whole bunch of songs, and I need to organize it and, craft it properly like I did the last EP to make sure that it resonates with the times that's going on. But I have to see as, time goes on and what happens in current events, and then I can properly formulate and create that. But I don't want to just drop it right now when I don't know how it's going to play out in years to come.
Are you a lyricist or writer or freestylist?
Everything. It's all encompassed.
So you're all three.
Yeah, there is no aspect regarding rap that I have a weakness in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.